Hello, and thank you for joining us for this subject support session today. We have a different talk each day of the week, this week focusing on different course areas, different faculties as well. So this stream today is dedicated to the Faculty of Computing, Engineering and Media. Now you might be thinking, what is a faculty? And essentially what it is a cluster of different subject departments grouped together. So we have the Faculty of Chem, as we call it, which is Computing, Engineering and Media as well. We also have ADH, which is Arts, Design and Humanities. We have HLS, so the Faculty of Health, Life Sciences, and BAL, which is the Faculty of Business and Law. So if you are interested in a range of subjects, do feel free to have a look on our DMU website, on our live streams, to see if there are any other streams that you'd also be interested in viewing this week. Now you can tune in as well and watch this again. So if you do have to pop away, this video will be available. But we do have some, not just myself, but some other staff member and students today to speak to you about various different courses that we have within the Faculty of Computing, Engineering and Media. Now, with lots of courses to choose from, it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So hopefully we will give you some advice today. You can expect to hear from our students talking about their course, why they chose it, what elements they like about it, what is the teaching like, what kind of facilities are there, and what kind of support is on offer generally for students, whether it's for their course or just generally within the university. So for any viewers today watching, if you would like to get involved and post a question, we would love to see some audience participation. Feel free to engage with us. If you are watching the video on our website, you will find that you won't be able to post a comment. So hover over the screen. You should be able to see YouTube at the bottom of the taskbar. Click on that. That will take you through to YouTube. And that is where you can post a comment or a question or say hello. So that's a bit of a sum up of what's going to be happening over the next 30 minutes or so. Now, I will want to introduce you now to who we have involved in our stream today. So it's not just myself. We have May joining us today.
Hi,
May.
hi there, Faye.
Lovely. So May, you work in the actual faculty, the Chem faculty, and within marketing itself. Can you just give us a little bit of an idea about what the faculty is, what it involves, the kind of subjects that you will find within the faculty?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So my name is May. I work in the Chem faculty, as we call it. So that's Computing, Engineering and Media. It's split into 3 schools. So the first school is the Computing School, which is Computer Science and Informatics. And within that school, we've got all kinds of exciting courses, such as computer science, software engineering, cybersecurity, digital forensics, and we've got a fairly new course called the Internet of Things as well, which talks all about the way that our homes are now pretty much run by the internet, and all things like that. So do go and have a look on the website, where you can find out all about the computing courses on offer. Then, of course, we've got engineering, so the Engineering and Sustainable Development School. So within that, we cover mechanical engineering, aeronautical, electronic and electrical engineering, energy engineering, and also mechatronics as well. So again, a very exciting school there, where we have things like formula racing, students and societies and things like that going on. So again, have a look at those courses if that's what takes your fancy in engineering. And then, of course, last but not least, the media school. So our Leicester Media School covers all manner of things to do with the media. So whether that's media production, media and communication, journalism, what else have we got? We've got creative design. So everything from game art to animation, graphic design, all that kind of thing there as well. So yeah, do take a look at those courses. So lots and lots of exciting courses on offer within the Chem faculty.
Great. So we do have quite a wide variety of courses within this faculty. So everything from graphic design to cybersecurity to aeronautical engineering. So there really is, I think, something from everyone generally at the university. And I think we'd maybe like to bring in some students here that are from across some of those courses. So we have Ethan joining us, we have Mohammed as well, and we also have Sada. So I don't know if you want to just take a moment to maybe start with Ethan, introduce yourself, what you study, where you're from, what year are you on?
So hi, I'm Ethan. I am a third year broadcast journalism student. I'm originally from Sheffield, so obviously I'm in my final year of DMU at the moment.
Fab. Mohammed? Mike?
Sorry. My name is Mohammed. I've been here for 5 years. I did my foundation year here. Then I did computer science and I'm on my master's. I'm from Leicester. And yes, here now.
Great. Sada?
Hi, I'm Sauda. I do media production. I'm also my third year and I'm also from Leicester.
Wonderful. So we've got a few different courses there. Perhaps you could tell me a little bit about why you chose your course. What made you particularly attracted to that course? You know, what you did maybe at sixth form that kind of got you to this point of kind of deciding this is what I want to do. What kind of were your deciding factors that made you think this was the right course for me, perhaps the right university as well, and kind of what your thought processes were behind that? Ethan, do you want to start for us?
Sure. Yeah. So I did film, media, and English literature in A levels. Bit varied, I know. But I decided I wanted to do broadcast journalism because I thought it gave me the most options going forward. I knew I wanted to do some kind of journalism, but I wasn't too keen personally on print. So I wanted to do radio and technology and things like that. So I thought it'd be the best going forward for that. And also it opens more doors going forward because I'm not 100% sure when I started what I wanted to do, if I wanted to do journalism or just work at a TV show or something like that. So broadcast lets you do a lot of cross work with media production as well. So I've learned a lot of skills with AAB as well as journalism on top of that. That was a really big thing for me because now that I'm going forward after this year, I've got more opportunities. So I don't just have to go work in journalism. I could go work for a TV show or a film production company or an audio production company because I've been taught all those things throughout the years. So yeah, a big thing for me was that it let a lot of doors be open going forward. And that's why I chose DMU as well, because they were offering a lot more different modules that varied for things. And obviously going forward, you can choose what you want to do. You can make it more refined as you go forward. But a big thing for me, yeah, was how broad the learning was. You learned a little bit of everything and then you decided what you want to do later, basically.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have a look at what the course actually entails. So not just the name of the course, but what you will actually be doing in your first year modules, your second year modules, your third year modules, because courses can be very different. They might have the same name, but they might be different across different universities. You might find a course like media production or a type of journalism course that is taught very differently. So it's important that you do get into the nitty gritty and find out how you're going to learn, what you're going to learn. So these things just are something to do a bit of research on to find out what is the right fit for you. Mohammed, tell me a little bit about your kind of journey, because you've been with us now for about 4 years. So how did you come to kind of decide on DMU and the course that you've decided on as well?
So I did IT BTEC 90 credit. I didn't do so well in my first year A levels. So then I moved on to do a 90 credit so then I could get onto foundation year computing. The reason why I chose the foundation year computing is when you go into it, after you've passed your foundation year computing, you can choose a course within the Chem faculty. So you have a choice between computing, computer science, software engineering. And the foundation year went through, we even done some animation work where we had to animate a board across the screen. We done some programming, some databases, a little bit of everything. And then after I did my foundation year, I chose to do computer science. Again, because there was a wide range of different modules. So it's similar to what Ethan said, in a sense of there was some database, there was some programming, there was some theory work as well. And as the years went on, so as I went on to my second year, I then picked my module onto what exactly I wanted to get into, which was programming, and the third year as well. So yeah, one of the main things that made me go to DMU was the help and support staff. So when I went to the open day, they had some small programming tasks that we had to do, and all the stuff. Well, they were really helpful, and I've noticed that throughout the 3-4 years that I've been there, at any point if I need help, I can just go to the staff, and they're more than happy to help.
Fab. And Sauda, you're doing media production. Can you tell us a little bit of how you got there to make that decision?
Yeah, well, I for my A levels, I didn't choose like stuff I enjoyed, so that didn't go so well. But then for my 90, which I also did, I did creative media, and with creative media, it was you do more of what you like video recording and stuff like that, and more coursework based. So I enjoyed that more. And then I looked into the courses, so media production was one of them, and what I liked was that it had a large range of modules. So as everyone said, a lot of modules, but because there's different pathways. So for example, in my second year I did multimedia, and multimedia is coding, which I didn't know before, but I've learned a new set of skills from doing it. So that's one of the reasons why I chose the course I did, because of the different skills you can learn. So I'm not only doing video recording, I'm also doing things like editing and photography, and like even now I'm doing creative media entrepreneurship, which is actually business, which I didn't think I was going to do, and I'm doing it now. So there's like it all correlates, but there's just a bunch of different things you can choose from. That's mainly why. And also the support's very good.
It sounds like you're all picking up lots of really great skills, and very, very varied skills as well, different kind of things that you can take with you when you do go into employment. So, and probably finding out things, that you didn't know about, like the coding, for example. And you might actually find that that's something that you actually really enjoy and want to go into. Now I'm just wondering, May, if you could tell us a little bit. We've talked about how it's a good idea to look into the course and to see kind of what it involves, what kind of modules there are. But what else might students want to check out as part of the course when they're looking at universities, and perhaps specifically looking at De Montfort University?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can hear from our students there, it's a really good idea to have a good research into the course that you're interested in, check out the modules, and make sure that, they are modules that interest you. But as you've heard from Ethan, Mohammed and Sauda, they are now doing things that they didn't think they would be doing and very much enjoying it. So that's always good to, keep the doors open as well, and just keep looking for different opportunities. But also we've got lots and lots of student societies which are also linked to the courses. So you might find you might be a computing student, but you might join Demon Media, which is our media society. So just things like that, again, keeping opportunities open for you. But some of the course modules are obviously the same across some courses, but then they start to veer off and become more niche in the final year. So again, do check that out, what courses have commonalities between them, and then which ones might become more niche in the final year. Again, something that you will be interested in and that you can sustain and study, for between 3 and 4 years. And of course, think about where you want the course to take you. Do you want to continue into further study? Do you want to find a career in a certain area of engineering or computing or media that you particularly want to do? Is that course going to help you and take you to your destination, which is where you want to be after your degree? So all these things, and also check out the facilities as well. Make sure that if you are wanting to work in industry, we've got lots of great facilities that are industry standard. So again, is that the right course for you? Is it going to take you to the industry that you are really interested in joining? So yeah, lots of different things like that. And on computing, is the software open access to all the software that you need. So yeah, just check out all those things like that. And we've got lots and lots of information on our website. You can chat to students as well online. So any questions at all, yeah, you can find out. We've got lots of support for students as well.
So perhaps we could talk a little bit more about the facilities at the university. Mohammed, perhaps you could delve a little bit deeper into kind of the computing facilities that you use. What kind of access can you access them kind of outside of your classes, for example? Is that something that you do? Do you work collaboratively with other students? So if you could tell us a little bit more about how you use the facilities on campus, that would be great.
Yeah, so on campus, one of the main buildings that we use for computer labs is Gateway House. Now in Gateway House, there are six levels, and all levels, as long as you've got your card, you can access them at any time. I think it's up until midnight during the weekdays. So a lot of the time, if I wanted to get work done late, I just go into a computer lab around 9 p.m. I just work through my work, be there around till 11. With working with others, it's a big room, so everyone could fit in there. You can work with some friends as well. But it's so on the 6th floor. There's a section that's dedicated to computing students. So it'll always be available to you, and there'll always be space for you to work. Some of the other facilities are the library as well. So the library is open 24/7. So often you can just go in there whenever you want to do some work, just get some work done. And you've got silent study areas. You've got areas where it's a locked room, and you can stay there with your friends and work through presentations together. You've got individual study rooms as well, which you can book. You can book it online, and it's yours for a specific amount of time as well. So yeah, the facilities, they're great, and there's a lot available.
That's great. Yes, the library is fantastic. It's open 24/7, and I think pretty much every single day of the year, even Christmas. So if you fancy, being extra studious, spending Christmas in the library, then you can do so if you wish to. Saudi, I imagine you might use the kind of the media production studios, so maybe the green screen rooms, maybe you want to tell me?
Yeah, well, we use quite a lot of the facilities, like because obviously it's a broad course. So we also use we use Gateway as well for like multimedia, but then we also use the live television studios for TV production, where you do documentaries and stuff, and like live TV things. I can't remember the terms. And then we also have AV loans. So if you're thinking, oh, but what about all the equipment? Well, all the equipment's provided. You just need to book them out, and then that way you're able to do all your stuff even outside of university. You don't have to use the equipment on campus, except the live TV stuff because they're in a studio. But all the AV loan stuff you can take out, and you can even take them out during holidays and stuff. So that's one of the biggest parts of media product, if you ask me, because you need to use cameras, you need to use like things like GoCams and sound bars, everything. Like there's a lot of things you can use. So yeah, there's quite actually a lot of facilities, and I'd say the main one's also the library, because the library has pretty much all the software. But even now, even with the situations and stuff, you're able to access. I think the Creative Cloud has become thingy, so you can access Creative Cloud as well at home and stuff. So it's also quite mobile. So yeah, there's a lot of facilities you can use, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's important for anybody looking at courses to note that, these kind of facilities, whether you're working with cameras, if you're working with IT software, computers, for example, you're not expected to be able to buy all that very expensive equipment and software. So we do support you as a university. You will have access to all of that. So you don't have to spend all of your student loan. As Sauda said, you can get these things actually on a loan from the university and kind of rent them out. Ethan, I'm not sure about much of the facilities within broadcast journalism, so you'll have to fill me in. And perhaps you can also kind of tell me a little bit about Demon Media, which you said you're also involved in before.
Yeah, that's fine. So for broadcast journalism, like I said, it did a lot of crossover with media production. So I use the TV studio as well because we have the same modules. We also do radio inside broadcast journalism. I forgot what I did then. So we use the radio studios as well, where we make mock shows or we make documentaries for them as well. We also use the sound studios, which are like soundproof rooms with the programs on, and then again we have access to AV loans to get microphones out and things like that, so it's all really great for getting equipment out. I do Demon Media as well. I'm running Demon TV this year. So basically Demon Media is the university's media society. Anyone can come join. You don't have to be doing a media course specifically. Obviously it helps to know about the cameras and stuff, but we teach you everything basically. And what you can do, you can get involved with either TV, magazine, or FM, or you can do all three. To be fair, you don't have to just do one. Where for TV, we make content about Leicester and student life, and also like special events. So we're making a Halloween video at the moment. We'll make a Christmas video when it comes up. FM have weekly shows where they go into the studio and broadcast, and the magazine have a monthly publication. But some things are online and some things are in print as well, which is very nice. A big thing about it is nice being able to see the work you're doing. So say if you're learning something in your course, you can use those skills in Demon. Or what I found personally is things I've learned from Demon have really helped on my course. So when we go to learn things, I'm still learning a lot of new stuff, but it's almost a little bit of a step up, which is nice to know when you're going into some of your hardest stuff in your course. It's a big help in my opinion, yeah.
It's a really good idea to see what you can get involved in at university. So you go to your classes, obviously, you do your academic work, but see what else you can get involved in. So Ethan is part of Demon Media. You don't have to be a media student to be able to get involved in that. And there's lots of other kind of clubs and societies that students can get involved in. At the university, we have about 200, I think, at this moment, different clubs and societies. It keeps growing. It's probably even more than that now. Essentially, if you want to create a society or a club because it doesn't exist, then that is something that you can go to the student union and talk to them about creating that society. Now, there's lots of things you can get involved in. It can be completely unrelated to your course. It could be something sport related. So Ethan, I think you said you do taekwondo, was it?
Yeah, in my first year, I did taekwondo as a sports kind of thing, just to meet some people, and it was really useful. In fact, I ended up meeting the people I'm living with now through that. I don't do it anymore, but that's how I met a lot of my friends. So that's a really useful thing as well.
I think it's good to have an outlet, isn't it, really? So to see, what else you can get involved in at university. And there's other things within these courses. So engineering is part of this faculty. You can get involved, for example, in the electronics club if you want to. Formula One is something that students can get involved in. Again, you do not have to be an engineering student to get involved in that. So what students do is they have to kind of design, build a formula car, essentially a Formula One car. They get to trial it. I think they get to race it. Everybody gets to trial a bit as well. Is that right, May?
I think it is. Yes, that's right.
And I've even tried to get in one myself. So there's lots of things that you can do outside of your course and get involved in. You don't necessarily have to be within that course area. So business students might want to get involved in Formula One, for example, because they have to kind of stick towards within a budget, for example, within building the race car. Lots of things available out there. And we also mentioned kind of before the library, the academic side. So yes, there's lots of practicals within courses, but there's also the things like report writing, essay writing. And we mentioned the library. May, could you tell us a little bit about how the kind of academic support is in place with the library?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got something called CLASS, which stands for the Centre for Learning and Study Support, and basically that there are tutorials and workshops available to all students. So particularly in that first transition, you know, from whether it's A levels, BTECs, or foundation years, whatever you did before, transitioning to university, you know, it can be quite different and overwhelming. So everything from how to write essays, how to read journal articles, and we've got support groups for maths if you need any additional support, or English, you know, all those kinds of things. And when you come to do your final year dissertations, there are workshops, just understanding research methods, everything from data analysis to, yeah, just effective reading, writing, research, all the things that you're going to have to do, no matter which course that you pick, you know, there's going to be an element of that. So absolutely lots and lots of support for students across all the year groups. And all you have to do is look for it. It's just there online. You can book tutorials, you'll get feedback from the academics. So yeah, some really, really good solid support there for all the students at DMU. So yeah, and obviously if you're coming to look for your course, we've got lots of support there as well. So all the course pages are online. We've got lots of videos on YouTube which tell you all about specific courses. Obviously live streams such as this one, so you can always watch these back on any specific topics that you would like to learn more about. We've got open days coming up as well. So the next one is on Saturday, the 14th of November, and then we've got another one on Saturday, the 5th of December as well. So they're obviously taking place online at the moment. So, but just log on to our website and you can book your place on there as well. And lastly, you can chat to the students at any time. So through our UniBuddies platform. So yep, just log on again and you can chat to any students. There you go. You've got the link there. So yeah, lots and lots of resource. And as I say, all you have to do is just ask or look for it, and it's there.
So something else that we try to do as a university, and perhaps is something that help the students today to make their choice for going to university and perhaps for going to De Montfort University, is the kind of opportunities available within the course. So things like placements and things like international opportunities as well. So as part of the courses at our university, we try to get as many of our students involved in international trips. And obviously, at the moment, it's not something that we are currently pushing just at the moment with COVID, but something that we do hope to reintroduce again in the near future. But DMU Global is something that we, again, try to encourage as many students to get involved in. We do offer support package, so financial packages for students to be able to take part in these trips as well. They can be more kind of have a voluntary aspect, or they could have more of a course aspect. But Ethan, you actually have done a DMU global trip, haven't you?
Yes. So last year, in my second year, I went to Prague as an academic trip for about a week, I'd say. I can't really remember how long it were. But it was to look at the radio stations there and the TV production. And we also went to see a film production studio there as well. I found that really useful because when we came back, we wrote about it for one of our assignments. We wrote a story on how we found it and what the uses were and things like that. A big thing as well was we went to like the leading media production company in Europe. It was like this places in Brussels and Paris, things like that. And this one in Prague, it was really useful to see a working industry environment. So yeah, we spoke to a lot of people high up in the company. We spoke to some journalists who had been out all over the world and wrote stories for years. Really useful to just understand basically what it is when you're finishing university or you're going into placement, what you're actually going to be doing. And also you get to go to somewhere else in the world, which is really nice. I loved it in Prague. So we obviously went and did things for the academic course, but we also got time to go see the sites because our lecturer who took us there went to Prague all the time. So we showed us some of the sites. We did some other kind of things just for Prague, not always academic. We had about 4 days of academic work basically to be looking at, and then we also got free time to do whatever we want basically. So highly recommended, yeah.
Throughout your time at DMU, we do get in touch with students, let them know the kind of opportunities that are available that they can get involved in. So do look out for those if you do decide to come to the Montfort University. Now, something else that you can look at as part of your studies is actually doing a placement. And these could be a year-long placement. It could be a summer placement, for example. May, can you tell us a little bit, can any student from the Faculty of Computing, Engineering and Media take part in a placement?
Yep, definitely. So we have a specific placements team who would be able to, once as soon as you start your degree, they will look to be in touch with you within that first year, because potentially you could do it in your second year. So we've had lots of students from all the different schools go to work placements. We have quite a lot of partnerships with industry as well. So we've had students go to work placements at Next, for example, which is a big local employer, Siemens, a big engineering company. We have partnerships with BT, Deloitte as well, and lots of course, there are smaller local companies as well. So, you could be a sound technician, for example, if you did music, that kind of thing. So lots and lots of different opportunities, and our placements team are there to help. So yeah, I think have we got a video that we can show about placements?
We don't have the video today, but we have popped it into the comments, and it's just here. So if anyone would like to view the video, it's from one of our placement managers. They can find it on this YouTube link, and there's lots of useful information in there.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, so I would just like to add as well that, absolutely do take advantage of the opportunity for a placement, because when it comes to, upon graduation, when you're looking for that role, the students who have done a year out in placement will definitely stand out in terms of, lots of computing students who are looking for similar roles. Someone who's had a year in industry is obviously going to be at an advantage to someone who hasn't. So yeah, look out for those opportunities and definitely take advantage of those.
Yeah, I think the employability team they're just really helpful there for getting support either during your studies or kind of once you're going towards graduating. So if any students want support with their CV, if they want support with an interview, for example, how kind of practicing it, knowing kind of how to perform in an interview, then they're there to help you, and they have so many links with employers for when you graduate as well as when you're doing placements. Really check them out and see what they can do to help you. I'm sure our students in the stream today will be checking them out, especially gearing towards their graduation as well. Now, May, something else that I just wanted to touch upon. I know, Mohammed, you did do one of these, but for any students who aren't sure about what they want to do, or perhaps want to do a completely different kind of course area to what they're doing now, might something like a foundation year help students with kind of making those choices? Or perhaps if they don't get quite enough UCAS points, it might be something that's helpful?
Yep, definitely. So at the moment, a foundation year, we offer those in computing, in engineering, and also we've got an art and design and foundation course for students interested in graphic design, animation, or game art, courses like that. So absolutely would recommend you look into that. If, for example, you're not coming through the conventional route to start a degree, you've perhaps got different qualifications, then it just gives you the opportunity to try all the practical elements before you then pursue that degree. So yeah, just to absolutely make sure it's the right degree for you, do check out the foundation courses that we've got available as well.
Great. So hopefully that's been quite helpful. We've talked a bit about placements, about employability, DMU Global, the different kind of courses that we do. And we have about 150 courses available at the university. So again, if you're not sure, you want to have a chat with a student, you can pop onto our UniBuddy page. You can find that, chat to a student through our website. There's lots of students from lots of different areas, and you can see the link below here as well. So, never be afraid to ask questions. Again, we have our open day coming up on Saturday, the 14th of November. So hopefully we can see you there. Do book it in advance so we can send you the schedule and the link to take part as well. But something that I think I would like to end on, perhaps from our students, is what kinds of maybe advice you would pass on to maybe year 13 students now who are looking at applying to university, who are thinking about their courses. What kind of advice maybe you wish that you'd received, or something that you wish you'd done? If you can share that before we finish the stream, that would be perfect. Who wants to go first?
I can, if you like.
Go for it, Ethan.
Yeah. Sorry. So a big thing for me, what I thought then, but should have thought about more, is when you look at your modules, work how much is online, how much is going to be essays, what's going to be normal coursework, what's going to be exams. Luckily, I don't have any exams because in my course, but it's not really lucky. I chose my course. A big thing about it was that there was no exams; it was all coursework big. But you can look about what you're doing practical work, what you're doing for essays. It's a big thing to think about going forward, how you're going to be doing your academic work, how you're going to be showing what you've learned. And again, like we said earlier, really look at what modules you're doing. So for first year, I did a whole array of stuff, and then it got refined and refined more as I've gone further. But yeah, when you're looking at what course you want to do, look at the individual modules, because some crossover, like I said earlier. So you could do, say, broadcast if you liked media production. You have an array of things to try. But yeah, just have a look at what your actual modules entail, not just what the course itself does.
Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. Don't be afraid to ask questions about the module. So if you, or like on the course in general, if you have two courses you want to choose and you're torn between which one, you're gonna have to figure out, like, ask them, call them up and be like, so what's it about? And don't be afraid to like contact module leaders either, because there's a plenty. They give you. I did that. I waited till I was like, okay, I really got to figure it out. And then I was provided with like a module book, and it really helped solidify my idea of what I wanted to do. So the media production course. So yeah, just don't be afraid, and just call if you ever need help. That's what I'd say.
Mohammed, as somebody who's been at the university now 4 years, what kind of top tips, what kind of advice might you want to pass on to a future student?
I think the best advice is just to go with what you enjoy the most, and because at the end of the day, if you want to end up in a job that doesn't feel like a job, you want it to just be part of your daily routine and you enjoy it. So, but the biggest advice would probably be to just enjoy it as much as you can. And if you're torn between two courses, pick the one that you think is going to interest you more. Because university, it does get difficult, especially towards your third year when you have to create a whole new project for your dissertation. And if you enjoy it, if you're going to enjoy the whole process of first year, second year, third year, and then eventually, if you want, you can do a master's. So as long as you enjoy your course, you'll be happy to just go on to the next year and just keep progressing.
Some sound advice from all of our students. And if you want to check out any of our courses, whether it's media, engineering, music, our creative design courses, computing courses, we've popped all of the links there in the comments. So do check them out, do read up a little bit more, follow our fabulous advice from our students in the broadcast today, and May from our marketing team. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope to see you on the next live stream. Thank you very much, everyone.